Hi guys and welcome back to my channel Popcorn Reviews. I'm Farhad. If you're new to this channel then please smash that subscribe button now. And here I am reviewing a Malayalam film. The much talked about Malayalam film that I'm going to be talking about is the new Mohanlal starrer called Malaikottai Vaaliban, which is directed by Liju Jose Pellissieri. Now there was a reason why it took my time to go into this film, because the word of mouth was so mixed. I did not know whom to believe, whom not to believe. It was perhaps the most polarizing film that, in terms of the opinions that were floating in the internet, that made me just a little skeptical, even though it has Mohanlal in it, who is undergoing a little mini comeback. There was a mini comeback in Jailer as well, with Nera as well, and this film was his official comeback, where everyone is looking forward to the Mohanlal that we know. And he was collaborating with Lijo Jose Pellissieri, who is one of the most absurdist filmmakers, in a very good way. I'm saying absurdist filmmakers ever, and that is something that is his USP also. He has been pushing the envelope with films like Churuli or Nan Pakal Niratta Mayakam, but this seemed to be like the grand magnum opus that was there. But the word of mouth made me a little skeptical and keep my expectations in check. So then, does Malaikottai Vaaliban manage to impress? Let's find out. So, coming to the story and screenplay, Malaikottai Vaaliban is essentially a story of a drifting warrior, or a nomad, you can say, who's undefeated, by the way, and constantly moves from one location to the other in terms of challenging the opponents, whom, if he wins, he wins all the gains, personal and otherwise, for the opponents as well. Now the real challenge comes in the form of his fate, and will he be able to conquer his fate? Now the story, which essentially is set in the fantasy land, it's like a fantasy area that it is set in. It is one of the most unique genre bending films that I have watched in terms of its story. It's almost like, picture this, it's a Kurosawa film with a bit of a western genre to it, adding homage to Sholay, almost in the form of a parody, so to say, with a little bit of Shakespeare sprinkled in, and this is what you get. It's one of the most unique. I cannot categorize this film in any particular genre, and that is something that made for a refreshing and brave attempt in terms of the filmmaking technique, because I know the story on paper may not have been as appealing, and to transform that into something huge on screen was a challenge in itself, and full marks to Lijo Jose Pellissieri for even attempting such a thing. Now coming to the screenplay, which is the interesting bit, standing at 156 minutes, it is one of the most unique stories in terms of the tonality of the drama. The tonality of the drama keeps shifting, almost like the theme of the film, in terms of the characterization of the protagonist. The drifting warrior, the word drifting focus should be the focus on that. Drifting warrior, shifting locations, also shifts the tonality of the drama throughout, and that is what made for a refreshing viewing for me. um, I did not go in with any preconceived notions or expectations, and that is what worked for me in the film's favor. And I went in with a clean slate, and I got something absolutely unique and wonderful in terms of even the storytelling, which I think the deliberate attempt was to have style over substance. It was a deliberate attempt. So the drama here, it essentially begins with the introduction of the protagonist, and the pace of the drama is almost instantly set to a snail's pace. There is a vehicle that enters, and it takes its time to reach the center stage, which prepares the viewers that this is what you are getting into, and this is what you are about to have in the narration of the film. So please keep your expectations in check. It's not going to be a Bahubali kind of a film. Instead, it's going to be a Lijo Jose Pellissieri kind of a film in the truest sense of the word. and that is something that was established very early on, wherein you are introduced to the protagonist and you get to know that he's a drifting warrior, wherein he fights his opponents. He's remained undefeated and absolutely moves from one location to the other while possessing the personal gains like his wife or his family, and some of his money of the opponents that he's won against. And that is what the film essentially is, you can say in a one line if I have to say. But the multiple conflicts in the tale is arises due to the interpersonal relationships that he shares with the people around him, given the fact that he's undefeated, and how it affects people around him. So that is something that is there in a very absurdist way. Now, I was earlier in the day writing the review of the film, and I found it to be very tricky to actually put across my points in the film, because it is such a film. You cannot categorize this under any one particular category. It is like a very absurdist and weird kind of a film in a good way. I'm saying it's not a derogatory statement at all. So essentially, I was invested in the world building that was there. I was invested in the protagonist's journey and his equations that he shares with his characters, which had a nice build up at the halfway mark, which had things going in its favor in the second half. Now, the second half, which is getting a lot of flack, I would say, I think lot of unacquitted hate is going on. It should not be getting so much hate, because it is absolutely that kind of a film that you have to surrender to the vision of the director. The director's vision is the final one, given that it is also a fantasy film. So if it is a fantasy film, everything seems to be justified in the film as well. So I did not feel that there is anything lesser in the screenplay, apart from a little bit of the characterization of the other characters around the protagonist. But you have to remember the fact that the characters that are shown are mostly from the point of view of the protagonist. So even if they are little underdeveloped, I don't think it can be classified as a flaw as such. It's not a flaw. So the absurdist drama, which was a bit of a marriage between a Kurosawa warrior kind of a film in a western kind of a drama, it becomes even more absurd when it goes ballistic in the first 30 minutes of the second half, in which Malaikottai invades a Spanish ruler. There's a Spanish ruler as well. It's a predated era, so to say, lots going on, and then the story slowly focuses on the Shakespearean tragedy leading up to that end, which was very well done as well. It was subtle in terms of its impact. So if you're expecting like, oh, I need a solid impact at the end, it's not going to be that. It's a subtle kind of an ending that is there, and there is a European touch to it, definitely, in terms of the filmmaking technique as well, which I'll elaborate in my next section as well. But the story, which nicely sets up a little thing for the second part, is definitely worth a watch. I did like the screenplay here, and I'm. It might be niche for many, but I kind of liked it. I mean, I don't know whether I'm in the minority or majority, but I kind of liked it. Um, I'm into the technical aspects, the dialogues, the music, and the direction. I feel the dialogues here add to the authenticity of the drama. There's a rustic nature that blends well with the mood of the drama, I would say. Also, the music is good, but what is better is the BGM and the sound design. Now, I'd gone to watch this in a theater, and every time there was a sudden, abrupt change of note to the high octane, my seat was vibrating, and that gave a lot of indication about the sound design, which was absolutely brilliant to the core. And what was also brilliant was the cinematography. The wide shots that were there captured the beautiful barren landscapes and the beautiful skies so well. And there was a European touch in this aspect, when the action is unfolding in a wide shot. This is more of a French kind of a cinema that you would see. If you are well versed with French cinema, there would be multiple wide shots, and it will be up to you to decipher what the characters are doing in that frame. So wonderful. The cinematography is breathtaking. Almost every frame can be a postcard in itself. It says a lot. The one area that I felt was a little lagging was the editing, that too in the action set pieces that were there. The action set pieces had the right amount of slow mo, especially in that fourth sequence that was there. But otherwise, I felt the jump cuts, there were multiple jump cuts that just did not work for me as far as the action set pieces are concerned, and that has to do with the patchy editing of the drama. But it is director Lijo Jose Pellicer who is absolutely stunning in his craft once again. Many people are writing him off saying it's a weak Lijo Jose Pellicer film. It's not. It's absolutely not. It was just his idea and his bravery to convert such an absurdist drama on the big scale, on the big screen, and that itself was an immaculate effort in itself. The direction is good in terms of the world building that is there, even the interpersonal relationships that are being drafted did make a lot of sense. I think the his idea of pushing the envelope, I think it should be encouraged instead of being curbed, because he's one of the most unique filmmakers to be doing the rounds. He doesn't repeat a genre as well. And his filmmaking has a bit of eccentricity to it, and that is something that I absolutely love in his filmmaking. It's not a fanboy moment that I'm saying it, but I'm saying it out of a genuine love for cinema that is there. Something different that you're watching on screen every time, and different in a good way as well. There might be films that are different and not so good, but this is good and different. So there's a difference. So Lijo Jose Pellicer, thumbs up. Coming to the performances, and the performances are absolutely immaculate here. I absolutely loved Katha Nandi. She was wonderful to watch. Such beautiful eyes she has in terms of expressions that are there, that she expresses through her eyes. Wonderful to watch. I think Sonali Kulkarni also did a wonderful job. She has a wonderful screen presence as well. She did a wonderful job. Manoj Moses is earnest and sincere. Danish Seth is a revelation. Now, it could have so easily been a character that was over the top, but he controlled the tone of his character perfectly. His cackle was absolutely spot on, and it sent shivers down your spine. He was wonderful to watch, absolutely wonderful to watch. I also liked Harish Pedati, who is, wonderfully restrained. He did a wonderful job as well, but it is Mohanlal again. I hope I'm not missing anyone. All the other characters, let's put it this way, all the other characters do their job very well, and effectively so as well. I'm apologizing if I'm missing, because there were too many characters. I don't know whether I'm missing anyone, but not that anyone's coming to mind particularly, but all of them did a wonderful job. But it is Mohanlal essentially who does a wonderful job in surrendering to the vision of the director. Now, in the past, we've already seen films in which there was a Mohanlal touch to it, which did not necessarily go well with the tone of the drama already. Something that Mammootty was mastering so well in surrendering to the vision. And since his previous two outings, even if I have to take into account Jailer, which is the third half outing, you can say, Nera, Jailer, and now Malaikottai Vaaliban, I think he's surrendered to the vision of the director, and that is a start. And this might be a start for something special for Mohanlal as well in terms of his acting, because here he's given almost everything to his performance, and he's done such a wonderful job here. He's done a beautiful job here. Mohanlal is outstanding in this film to the core. So Malaikottai Vaaliban is essentially the most unique and genre bending film that you will ever watch. I haven't seen anything like this before, and these films need to be encouraged and not be criticized for the sake of it, I would say. This is my opinion. Criticism is always good. It always gives you a perspective. So for me, the film worked wonderfully well, even in terms of its style, in terms of its technique, also in terms of its substance to an extent. So my thing would be that if you can watch this film in the theater, it will be wonderful, because this deserves a big screen watch. It may not have the similar impact on the smaller screen. Just a hint, it's going to premiere eventually on Disney Plus Hotstar, but if you can catch it on the big screen and contribute to the success of the film as well. So if you're liking this video, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, press that bell icon, share this video with your friends and family. Any small help helps a small creator like me. Comment on this video. I think this is one film that I would love to discuss with everyone in terms of what you felt about the film. I'm sure everyone has felt something unique about it, whether it is good or bad. All opinions are welcome, as long as we are civil to each other. I don't mind that. So throw in your opinions, unabashed opinions, and also, if you'd like to read my detailed review of Malaikottai Vaaliban, it's available on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, the link of which is in the description box below. Do visit that as well. Also, follow me on different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd. I do not end up making a video on everything that I watch, but I do write a lot. All information is present on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, and on my social media handles. So, leave a follow there as well. End verdict for me is that Malaikottai Vaaliban has worked for me and I have absolutely loved the film. Let me know your thoughts. Just a reminder. I'll see you again soon with another video. Till then, take care of yourselves and thank you so much for your love and support. Cheers.